All right, Rebels, welcome to the beginning of something different. This is Podcasters Business Insider, the daily show where creators stop playing small and start building like business owners. Here, we don't chase downloads for vanity. We build systems, strategies, and shows that actually pay the bills. If you've ever felt stuck recording into the void, wondering if your podcast will ever grow into more than just a hobby, this is where the guesswork ends. Because you're not just a podcaster, you're a founder, a strategist, a builder. And together, we're going to turn your mic into a media empire. So buckle up, Pod Rebels, because clarity beats chaos, strategy beats hustle, and momentum beats perfection. Let's get into today's show. A big announcement. We just been able to hook up LinkedIn. So right now we are live on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And welcome to the people, the wonderful people on LinkedIn. We have been going live on YouTube. So if you want to see some of the past episodes, past live shows, they're all on YouTube. So once we're done here, head on over there and have a gander. Today we're going to be looking at funnels, and they don't have to be ag- aggressive or spammy. Today we're going to cover 3 ethical funnels that actually convert, plus 2 big stories. Podstock launches a new podcast data platform, and OpenAI adds parental controls after a tragic teen death. A little bit of sad news. And for the good people out in Minnesota, my prayer goes out to you and your family for the shooting that happened earlier today. It's never fun. Never fun. Okay, on to the news. We're not covering that today. We don't cover that kind of stuff here. We cover only podcast and business stuff here, and stuff that affects podcasts, whether that be in the tech sphere, podcast sphere, AI sphere, or actual business. We don't cover any politics. Interesting for a Greek to say he doesn't cover politics, but I'm trying not to get involved in the political sphere of things. It's just a personal choice. So, article number 1, Podstock podcast data platform. Pod News reports Podstock launches new podcast data tools. Why this matters. Data transparency is leveling up. Indie creators now have access to insights once reserved for big networks. My take on this, this is good. This is good from a podcaster's perspective, because now you can utilize these tools to spot trends in listener behavior. You'll be able to double down on what works and just scrap what doesn't. Data isn't just for sponsors. It's for smart creators who want leverage. If you're not consistently looking at your data, and remember, we're not chasing downloads here. We do not chase downloads. Downloads is something for vanity. I've said this before, and for our friends over at LinkedIn, I'll say for you guys as well. It's easy to get downloads. You can throw a couple $100 and you'll get a couple 100,000 downloads in a month. I guarantee you. But it's all empty. And it actually does hurt. It does hurt everything that you're on. YouTube, for example, will see that and they'll be like, well, this guy had 11 subscribers, 11 views or 4 views on his or her show last night, and today he's got like a couple 10,000 views. That doesn't make sense. Your show goes, your channel goes, it won't go down, but it'll It'll be rough. It'll be rough for you because they'll flag you as doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. And that's not what we're going after here. We're going after organic leads. And remember, I said leads here. I didn't say um, downloads. I didn't say reach. Leads are more important than reach. Yes, you do need reach. You need to have a grander scope of things, um, so that you can get more eyeballs and earballs on your stuff. Yeah, you do need that. However, it's the leads where it counts, not the downloads. Let's move on to article number 2. OpenAI adds parental controls. The Verge reports OpenAI introduces parental controls following concerns after a teen's death linked to AI usage. Why this matters: the debate around AI safety is heating up. As these tools expand, regulations and controls will impact how creators and listeners interact with AI-powered platforms. My take on this: pay attention to how these safety changes affect your own workflow, especially if you're building with AI like I am. Ethical use is now a competitive advantage. This is not something that's new. Back in 2021 and 2022, there were stories coming out of people manipulating AI to tell AI to kill themselves. AI is just an algorithm. That's all it is. It outputs whatever you input into it. AI is, for now, AI is not the issue. It's too, it's still very dumb. Still very dumb. It's quite advanced. Don't get me wrong. Like it's quite, and it's extremely good. It's very good. I'm surprised. I'm creating a YouTube campaign right now with AI, and it's phenomenal. It's helped shaved at least 15 days of work. And I did it in a matter of a couple of hours. So, I mean, AI does have a place in this world. It does. However, we are the ones that have to be responsible in how we use it. Can I manipulate AI to tell me something, chat GPT to tell me something that I want to hear? 100%. 100%. That's what it's there for. It's not there to, it's not there yet. I have a feeling within the next 5 to 10 years, I have a feeling ChatGPT or whatever morphs out of ChatGPT, that will be an interesting morph to see what happens when it does. Because as I see it in 5 to 10 years, it's going to be very different, extremely different. People that have jobs now are not going to. I've already gotten rid of a marketing uh, manager. I don't need a marketing manager. I have ChatGPT. Why do I need a marketing team? I have ChatGPT. I have CapCut. I have HeroPost. That's all I need, and the only thing I'm paying for is HeroPost and ChatGPT. CapCut's free, and I'm not paying much. I'm paying what? ChatGPT $20 a month. HeroPost I'm paying 15 9 bucks a month. So less than $30. I have a media manager compared to a couple $1,000 a month plus benefits. Yeah. Damn right I'm going to be using ChatGPT. Damn right I'm going to be using HeroPost and CapCut. Why wouldn't I? But we need to pay attention how we use it. This is my point. We can't be, this is a deeper, see, I can't, you can't blame the tool for something as tragic as this. There was something more deeper involved with this kid that did this, and it wasn't addressed by the parents or the teachers or the friends or his girlfriend or boyfriend. There was a deeper issue here. It's it, I really have a problem with blaming inanimate tools. Now, is it important for how is this going to affect this parental um, control on OpenAI? We'll see. We'll see. I use it heavily. I use it heavily. But none of my stuff is controversial in any sense. May get controversial, but I'm just going to tell you how it is. And if you don't like it, well, you don't like it. Grow up. I don't know what else to say. I honestly don't know what else to say. The truth is going to be the truth. It does. I'll give you one truth right now. Is it easy to create a marketing campaign and see and having it rack in hundreds of thousands of views right off the bat? No, it's not easy. Anybody who tells you to do that's going to happen in 30 days is lying to you. It's not going to take you 30 days. It's going to take you like 30 months, maybe, not 30 days. I wish it could happen in 30 days. That doesn't work that way, my friend. Not even close. Not even close to that. And there's a lot of work on the back end. I have a 15, I'm almost finishing up a 15-week campaign, marketing campaign just for YouTube. I haven't started LinkedIn yet, and I will be starting LinkedIn. Probably I'll have it finished the way I'm going. Probably I'll have it done by the end of the weekend or the beginning of the weekend, the way I'm going. And that's all this is. OpenAI is just a tool, and I'm using it just as a tool. I'm not using it to give me life advice. Why would I do that? That's it's dumb. It's dumb. Um, and if you are using it for life advice, my advice to you is please seek help elsewhere, not ChatGPT, because ChatGPT will only output whatever you input, and it will output it in a way that you want it to be heard. So please, if you are struggling with that kind of stuff, please seek professional help. That's all I'm going to say. And professional help does not include ChatGPT or Grok or OpenAI or CapCut or Otter AI or any AI tool. That is not the proper help that you need. So let's pull the reins back a little bit here and let's get back on track with podcasting and content creation and lead generation and running a business. Fun stuff. Because I'm done with that. Anyways, three things that I want. The main theme for today is no ads, no spams, no problem. 3 funnels that actually convert. A funnel is just a path from curiosity to conversion. We've talked about this before in previous lives, where you have a whole bunch of people looking at your stuff at the very top. The goal is to get those people to buy something from you. So if you have 10,000 people, you want 4,000 of those people, 4 to 6,000 of those people to buy something from you at a low price. And then you want a certain percentage to buy at a higher price, and then a lesser percentage at a higher price. That is a funnel where you have to create. Most podcasters overcomplicate these funnels by copying big marketing teams. Your funnel as an indie podcaster needs to be simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Have one product. That's it. And one pathway. So the funnel just takes the funnel takes the listener to become a customer, to become a super fan. And we talked about this yesterday, where you needed to create a clear pathway for that one person to follow. The best way to do it is to start with something big and then make it small and bite size for people for social media. We're creating right now the bite size bits right now for the campaign for YouTube and for LinkedIn. Once that's done, there's a few things that I have to work on for the 7-Day Rebel, the 7-Day podcast blueprint, and then I can go back to the guest stuff. But right now, what you need to do is try to make your funnel, one pathway for your customer or for your listener to follow. That's it. So there's technically 3 funnels that you need to start out with. I like to say it's one funnel. And these 3 funnels fall into that one bigger funnel, right? Because it's listener to superfan. And inside those, you have smaller funnels inside of it. So right now, the three funnels that you need to build are the lead magnet funnel, the podcast to product funnel, and the workshop funnel. So what is that? Remember, you have a listener who just found you on social media. There's your lead magnet funnel. Your job is to bring them to find me on social media to become part of my podcast. And from my podcast to become part of my customer list. And from my customer list, you're going to become part of my superfan list. And there's 3 funnels that people will fall into once they go. So you go from blah 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 blah. So you go from completely cold to hot red fire, super fan. They can't stop talking about you. You're in Canada. You decide to do a talk in Sydney, Australia. They're on the next flight out to listen to you live. That's what I'm talking about. And you can only do that with a proper funnel in place. And that funnel has to be crystal clear in what you need them to do. Right now, at Podcasters Business Insider, we are working on the lead magnet funnel. That lead magnet funnel will bring them to the podcast. That podcast will lead them to the product. The product will lead them to a workshop. And everything falls into that proper path. So the lead magnet funnel. It's a podcast episode such as this, or a live stream, or a social media campaign, or a business card. And it goes to a freebie CTA, which adds them to your email sequence. Remember how I said how important your email list is. It is invaluable. The 2 most valuable assets that you have is your email list and your RSS feed. Those are the two most important assets that you have as a content creator, as a podcaster. Nothing else. Nothing else. I'll give you an example. Pod Inbox podcast. Download their CTA is download our listener engagement checklist. It adds them to the welcome funnel and then the paid upgrade. See how it goes? It goes from download the listener engagement checklist to a welcome funnel, which sells them the paid upgrade. We do a little bit different here, but everybody's going to be doing it a little bit different. This is just one example. Now, the podcast to product funnel. We have a value packed episode, and the CTA would be something like want more like this, and you have a link to a low ticket product. An example of this would be the passive income project. Episode leads directly to their $19 course. It's pretty cheap. They used Gumroad. Gumroad is like a program that you can upload programs, and Stripe with just one landing page. And they're doing amazing because I have heard of these guys. So another one is the workshop funnel. Workshop funnel goes from a podcast to invite to a free workshop offer at the end. I have tried this in the past. Didn't work so well for me. And you know me, I'm not going to try it just once. I'm going to try it a few times. I tried it about half a dozen times. It didn't really work out. Unless you have a huge following, I would leave this podcast for big ticket items. This funnel for like big ticket items. And the way that I would utilize this would be through something like Patreon. I already know they're already hot leads. I already know that if I offer them something, they will more than likely consider purchasing something from me. I wouldn't do something like this to somebody on Facebook that doesn't even know me. For me, somebody on Facebook, I would use the first one. Hey, here's this checklist. Here's this value add, and here's the checklist that came from the value add. And the checklist will lead to another program, and that program to another program, and that program to another program. All the while, they're being redirected to my podcast and my newsletter. So if I haven't captured their email, I'm going to capture their email eventually. And they're listening to my voice. They're listening to my commentary. Something like this, like Marion Wagner has 150 podcast listeners, attended her first live workshop. She sold a $9.97 program on the back end, no ads, no cold DMs. So from her entire list of people, 150 signed up to it. Yeah, again, you need to have the listenership in order to do this. If you don't have the listenership, I wouldn't even touch this one. Not until you get the listenership, or at least until you know you have warm to hot leads. And I'd be pushing towards the hot leads. I would go something on more of the lead magnet funnel to begin, and then do the product funnel, a low ticket. And once I have enough people downloading or listening in, or subscribers, or my email list is huge, or my email list is like up in the thousands, then I would look at the workshop. Other than that, I wouldn't even touch the workshop. I'm being bluntly honest with you. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your energy. You're going to waste your money. and you're going to get a major headache. Why isn't anybody coming? Because you haven't established yourself yet as that medium expert. So why would anybody come? Until you can establish yourself as that expert, I wouldn't even look at that number 3. I would look at number 1 and number 2. More on the lines of number 1, especially if you're starting out and nobody knows you. I would go with number 1. And if number 1 kicks off with a bunch of free people that are getting your stuff, then I would move to number 2. Okay, I have 100 people who downloaded the free CTA. Perfect. 100 emails. Perfect. Let me offer them a $20 course or a $50 course. And just completely overvalue that. Like, that course should not be worth $20. It should not be worth $50. That course, if they go somewhere else, they should pay about $3,000 for it. That's how much value you should dump into it. And once you have enough people there, then I would look at the workshop funnel. Do you see how the one giant funnel has the 3 funnels inside? One leads into the next and leads into the next. If you don't do that, if you start at the end, you're going to end up with nothing. And I know this from personal experience. You will end up with nothing. So don't make that same mistake. Start with the free CTAs, the freebies. Create like a lot of them and overvalue them. And once you have enough people watching your stuff, communicating with your stuff, they're engaging with your stuff. You have their email address. They're making comments on posts. They're making comments on live. They're showing up when the live happens. And if they're doing it consistently, then look at, offering them some free kind of program that will help them dig deeper into the freebie that you gave them. And only when you can see that you have a huge email list and huge amount of subscribers, then I would look at creating a workshop or even test it beforehand. Say, you know what, guys, I'm going to do a beta workshop. I'm going to do a workshop in beta testing, just like we're doing with the 7-day blueprint, where the beta is going to be done on Friday. And after that, we will be charging. Need to make some money. See what works, see what doesn't. Run the beta a couple times if you have to. And then look at that. Because like I said, like $1,000 and nobody knows who you are. No one's going to dump $1,000 to somebody who they don't know and trust. Until you can build that relationship with your people, I don't even suggest you going for that one. But the main thing needs to be the main point that I'm trying to give to you guys is that funnels, they don't have to be complicated. They just have to be clear, ethical, and consistent. Most importantly, you need to speak to who you're speaking to. And I've talked about this again so many times. If you're not speaking to someone, if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. If you speak to one person, you speak to a lot of people just by talking to one person. If you don't believe me, try it. Better yet, download get on the 7-day beta testing. You'll see in 7 days we'll have the foundation of your podcast already set up for you to move forward. So I want you to pick one funnel this week. Either the lead magnet, the product, or if you're big enough and you know you have hot leads, your workshop. If you don't have hot leads, don't even bother with a workshop. You're just gonna be bashing your head up against the wall. And believe me, the wall will win. So look at either the magnet or the product. Also remember that the product needs to be cheap enough so that people can actually say, okay, if I lose this kind of money, big deal. $7, $20, 50 is a little pushing it a little bit, but 20, you know what I mean. And sketch out the follow-up steps, email or next episode CTA. So there's a couple things that you can do with this. I suggest doing a little bit of both. Have an email campaign if they don't sign up. And we do have email campaigns if you don't sign up. If you are interested in any of the stuff that we're going to be pushing out after this week, then you will be going in, and you don't continue on the path, you will be getting emails at a regular basis, which won't be too much for you. But it's just like a little bit of a nudge to go to the next step kind of thing. And I would tag team that with an episode CTA on your podcast or your live stream. Just as a reminder, there is a sales trick out there, and that I learned when I was a personal trainer, that you need to have a person tell you yes 7 times before they will buy anything. So if you can get that yes 7 times, they become a hot lead. All of a sudden, you take that cold lead to warm lead to hot lead. Personal trainers know how to do it really quickly. I just used to do it with facts. But anyways, if you want deeper strategies like this, plus exclusive growth playbooks, sign up for the Rebel Intel newsletter. Every other week, we deliver insights straight to your inbox so you can stop guessing and start growing. And this next one that's coming out on Monday is going to be a special one because it will have the financial report of last month. So if you want to see how we did, it's all going to be there. We're not going to hide anything from you guys. Everything will be there. It's not going to be good, but it's going to be there. Like I said, we're not going to hide anything. So if you want my new ebook, Mike to Millions, the 7-day podcast business blueprint, it is in beta until Friday. So don't miss your chance to get early access before the official launch. All you have to do is just highlight the link below, paste it into the URL, hit enter. It will take you right to the landing page. You'll be able to get it right there, then and there. And it's free up until Friday. After Friday, no more free. Tomorrow on the field report, we're going to be breaking down the real creator's journey from 300 downloads to $3,000 per month using nothing but organic funnels and a crystal clear CTA. I can't stress enough how important a crystal clear CTA is. It is everything. And if it's not clear, and you can see from somebody who's doing 300 downloads, and he's making $3,000 a month just from 300 downloads a month. I don't know how much more proof I can give you. Until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to have a late start because I have a networking event that starts at 6 and I will be out till 9. So probably 6, 9, 8:45, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Eastern Daylight Time is when we're going to be coming back on. Until then, you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.